opportunity for Charlotte off the set piece. It is going to be the man out of Poland. The shot, yes!
And it's gone in! It's an Olympico! Yoshiki pulls it back, the shot, and another goal!
And look who's coming on. Ryan Romero. Here's Romero. Hit the shot, kid!
Goal!
For the city, for the crown!
And welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the Offsides Podcast, the unofficial official podcast of Charlotte Football Club. I'm your host, as always, Andres Robledo. And like in pretty much every single episode, I'm joined by my co-host, Pablo Robledo. Pablo, how is it going?
It is good. Squishy. That's my new word.
Ah, it's gross.
Yeah, it's gross.
How does it feel to start the week off with a Charlotte FC win?
I mean, that's a great way to go into the week. Charlotte wins, home opener, history in the making.
Tax season.
Yes, tax season. Taxes.
At least they're not due for a couple more months, but
Yeah. I think we have an exception, though. If you win the home opener, you don't have to pay taxes.
yeah, something like that for sure.
I got to look it up.
Nice, yeah. Well, so this is going to be a more fun, upbeat episode than I think we thought it was going to be before going into that win. One thing I didn't notice that I don't think we talked about on the last episode was we're undefeated to New York City FC. I think we're like 3-1 on them now. 3 wins and I think 1 draw.
Yeah, we brought that up. We might not have been totally accurate. I think we said that we were like 2 or 3-0 already, but it was, yes, like you said, at the moment it was 2 wins, 1 draw. Now we're 3 wins, 1 draw. So, yep, undefeated. Brought the brooms again. Swept them out.
Nice.
Yeah.
So what else are we going to be talking about in today's episode?
Well, we'll just be going over a couple things. Obviously, the hope opener results, starting 11, the new kit thoughts, things like that.
Nice. And
Try to keep it smooth.
Yeah. One other thing that we wanted to touch on too, the pre-sale for the Copa America tickets went live, I think today or yesterday, today being Tuesday the 27th, probably the 28th when you guys are hearing this. So they've been live for a little bit. And I'm just looking at Ticketmaster now for the semifinal game for nosebleeds. You're looking at, I'm looking at the highest seats I can get in the middle of the field. Looking at $245 per ticket. And this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is 8 rows away from the very top of the stadium. How are you feeling about those prices?
Pretty disappointed. I got a notification yesterday when the tickets were getting ready to drop, and so I was like, okay, yeah, I'll go see how much they are. Maybe I'll buy a couple tickets. And like first thing was Ticketmaster puts you in a queue. First time seeing that. And then after waiting and I get to like select my seats, like just about everything was sold out. There was like very rare side to side seats where like you and another person could buy tickets and go.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much sold out, just like single seats all over. And a ton of the tickets I saw were already up for resale. So it's like the Taylor Swift concert all over again.
Yeah, that's,
and the prices were ridiculous too.
Yeah, I mean, like for you, family of 4, that's gonna be $1,000 just to go to watch a game. That's way too much money.
Yeah,
especially for nosebleed seats. Like, I can understand if you're like getting front row and paying that much money, but not nosebleed. That's wild. I don't know who sets those prices. I don't think it is. I think it's like the Copa America that sets those prices. I don't think it is Charlotte that does it, or like Tepper, but I'm not 100% sure. So
I would think there's some sort of formula there where, like, because I had signed up for, be like, let me know when, tickets are going to be up for sale. So, like, the demand or interest that was the data that was presented to them was like, okay, like, all these people are interested. We have a certain amount of tickets. Let's start high and see what happens.
Yeah, you're probably
some
right.
of the tickets I saw that were up for resale were at least over $1,000. I'm like, that's
Sheesh.
nuts. Yeah,
That is crazy.
and I saw 2 side-by-side seats near the front, and they were like $900 each.
Good Lord.
So yeah, not great.
Yeah.
We're supposed to be watching from TV.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I was going to say the little glimmer of hope is if you are interested in going, the third place match is also going to be held at Charlotte or at Bank of America. And those seats seem to be about like half the price. So, if you're interested or one of the teams you want to support make the third place match, it's a little bit more affordable. Still not terrific, but not too bad. Yeah, it's just a shame. Ticket prices are so high here. I mean, the other one you and I talked about already offline was the Liverpool versus Man United game coming to the University of South Carolina. And you said those ticket prices were pretty high as well, right?
Yeah. I also signed up to get notifications on those, and I think just to get like midsection seats, you were looking at least $270, and to get some of the higher seats, it was like $190. So still, it's a smaller venue, I think, but big teams are coming.
That stadium holds like 70,000 people.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I wasn't sure.
Stadium.
I just based it off the picture I saw. So I don't know. But no, yeah, still same thing. There was a good bit of like seats that were side by side, but I saw a lot of tickets up for resale. And I was just like, I'm not paying, $300 for one ticket.
Preseason game also.
Yeah, per preseason game where they're probably not even gonna bring their main guys. Like for me, I'm a Man U fan, but even at this moment, like even if it was their starting lineup, I wouldn't pay that just because, I mean, they're garbage right now. I'll admit that.
Yeah, there's no one on that team sheet that would make me want to go see them. Maybe on the Liverpool side, I'd want to see Luis Diaz, but who even knows if
I would support
go.
that.
But he's going to be in the Copa America, so he probably won't even be there.
Better put him to work.
Yeah.
They are
it just
playing
sucks,
tomorrow, though, for the FA Cup at 3.
Man United is?
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Yeah, it's just it's a bummer because in 2012, a friend and we went to Baltimore to go see Liverpool and Tottenham play, and we must have been in the first 10 or 15 rows for sure. Right next to the supporter section of the Liverpool fans in the Baltimore Ravens Stadium, and I think our tickets were like $100 each. So it sucks to see how expensive it's just gotten for to go see games, and it just cuts so many people out. I mean, we were just fresh out of high school, and that was affordable to us at the time. But now, I mean, imagine there's no way we could pay a high schooler could pay what they're paying, what those ticket prices are now, to go see those matches. And again, it's one of the few opportunities you get to see some of these European teams. So just sucks that that's gone. And then same way for the Copa America stuff. Who knows when the United States will ever host this tournament again. I mean, it makes no sense that they're hosting it now, but it's a once in a lifetime opportunity to see some of those guys play. And I mean, just pricing out so many of the people. So
well, I think some of the stipulations that for the U.S. hosting was that they're going to be in it. Canada and Mexico are also going to be in it, and I think maybe I'm just taking a wild shot, but it's maybe it's almost like their preseason for World Cup. Like,
okay.
let's see how we do with that. Because, typically Copa America is just South American teams.
Yeah.
But now they're in it, so.
Yeah. Weird.
But no, yeah,
sucks.
like you said, even when we used to watch, when we went to the Bank of America to watch the Internationals Cup during the summer, I think 2 tickets were close to $100 each.
Yeah.
So
Do you remember?
those are pretty good seats, and we saw the stars.
Yeah. You remember, like, it was probably like maybe almost 10 years ago or 9 years ago. You and I went to Bank of America and we watched Chelsea play.
Uh-huh.
That was fun. I don't remember how much those tickets were, but I don't think they were that much.
Who else did we watch? I think it was Inter Milan.
We watched AC Milan and Liverpool play.
Oh, AC Milan, that's right. And Ibrahimovic was there.
Yeah, Michael Essien was there.
Yeah. Remember the Bank of America had, like, posted a picture of him on their Facebook, and then, like, almost, I don't know, less than an hour later, it was taken down.
Why?
I don't know. I think something to do with, like, he didn't want his picture up. I don't know. It was just like, it was up, and then it was gone.
Interesting.
Yeah, who knows?
Yeah. Oh, well, yeah, I just wanted to touch on that. Love to get everyone else's feedbacks on that. Leave your thoughts and opinions on the ticket prices and the whole situation down below in the comments section of our YouTube video or Instagram or Twitter. And, yeah, love to just see what everyone else is thinking. But moving on to the good stuff, the home opener result, first match of the season. Talk to me, Pablo. You were live on the stadium grounds. How was it?
I was there again for history. I was there for the first home opener, and I was there for the first home opener win. And it was exciting. The atmosphere was just like I remember for the first home opener. It was just like party. Everyone's there to support Charlotte. I saw the old kit, which was the black one. I saw the old home one. I saw the new one. I saw like some of their special edition ones, which was always just fun seeing. The supporters section was going crazy.
So
yeah,
compare the atmosphere this time around compared to last year, because I think last year it was a bit more of a down vibe, right?
Yeah. Well, last year I wasn't at that home opener, so I couldn't tell you because I guess just like any No, I was in the mountains.
Oh,
as usual.
Yeah, you're in the mountains a lot.
Yeah, sometimes I have to go hide out and balance. But like just like any home opener, it's always exciting. But in comparison to like last season and the first season, it seemed like that excitement kept going home match after home match after home match. Whereas like last season, it was, especially after that Atlanta lost, it was it was just like heads down, like anxious, things like that.
It was like a chore to go to the games.
It did. It felt more like that.
I remember last season, the home opener, and again, it was kind of different circumstances. We had the whole Anton Walk situation, unfortunately. Still pretty fresh when the home game kicked off, and it was definitely a more dour kind of thing. And then it didn't help that they ended up losing at the last minute, and I guess that really set the tone for the year. But what you're telling me, it sounds like it's kind of more like how the first home opener was with, packed stadium, seemed like a lot of fun, and then it ended on a high note, kind of like the first one did. Even though we lost to LA Galaxy, everyone was still like pretty upbeat about it, of like, keeping it close, first game, second game of the season for the team, first home opener, all this stuff. So you think this is a good sign of how the year will continue?
I think this is a good omen for sure. I think because of what happened last season, the lack of transfers that we have made, a lot of people are feeling kind of doubtful. Again, we got the new coach, so we don't know. Like, we don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
But this kind of gives us like a glimpse of things are going to be okay. Things are going to be all right under old Dean Smith. So we'll see. We'll see. And not only that, Charlotte, I want to say was like one of the top ones to bring in the crowd, to have like
I think it might have been the
crowd.
top.
Was it?
I think so.
You might be right. I read a small article where it was the MLS commissioner was asked how MLS will maintain viewership and the interest in MLS once Messi is gone. And he responded basically by saying, he said, look, Charlotte had an attendance of 65,000 fans, and Messi wasn't even playing there. He said, we should be proud, and I think we'll be all right. So just the fact that he just, shouted out to Charlotte was pretty cool. And
yeah, we should get
showing up helps.
We should get some extra cap space for that. We're carrying the league.
Yeah.
Carrying these ratings.
All this ticket money is going straight to their pockets. And Apple.
Yeah. I know. I had to renew my MLS season pass subscription. It wasn't free this year, which that one hurt to charge the card. Like $90
told me.
For the year.
Oh, you did the 90? I just did the monthly.
That'd have been more expensive that way.
If they do bad, I'll cancel it. And then I'll just come over to your house.
Yeah. Yeah. So you said you saw the new kit. What were your thoughts on it? Is it different seeing it in person or out on the field? Or I think we talked about. Actually, remind me. Were you a fan of the new kit or what?
I'm a total fan of the new kit. The fact that it incorporates what, basically, if you live in North Carolina, if you live in Charlotte, that's like your main go-to of why you like living in this area. You got the beach, you got the mountains. That's your go-to answer. And that's what they put on the jersey, and I'm like, yes. And you can kind of, like, you can kind of see it. You can see the ocean wave, and you can see the Blue Ridge Mountains. I'm all for this new kit. The back part of it, I wasn't totally in love with because it cuts to like a solid color.
I wanted it, the back part really stuck out to me.
Yeah.
It looked like a Power Ranger suit. Like, it looks, I don't know, it just looks like with the black lines and then like the shoulder pads. It just looks
and
like
that's the other thing I liked. Yeah, I liked the black outline.
Yeah, it looks
I'm
good
totally
on the
for
front, but like the back just looks like they're wearing some kind of like Power Ranger suit thing. Like those shirts you can get that like have the Power Rangers armor, but it's just like a shirt. It kind of looks like the back looks like that. But
yeah.
Okay, yeah. So you're a fan of the new kit. Okay.
Yeah, I'm just saying Christmas is right around the corner.
I mean, literally 10 months away, but yeah. Yeah, I'm not a fan of the new kit. For me, it does look cool. But it looks like what would be like a third kit or like a special edition kit like you would wear for like a special event like the 100th match or something, or something like that. Like sometimes clubs will do that. They'll have like a one-off kit for a special match or something. And that's kind of what it looks like for me. To replace like the home jersey, it's a little too much. I would have preferred them like, I like the traditional of like you kind of stick with like a similar style.
You think it's too much or too soon?
It's too much, yeah. It's like it's mostly white now. Like the blue, like the original blue color is like barely on the front. I mean, you got it all on the back, but like, I don't know. It's just like how Man United kits are or Chelsea kits are. Like the home jersey usually typically stays pretty similar. The changes, if they do make changes, they're not like too big, or they're like noticeable enough, but like the color palette's still the same.
Yeah.
Like Chelsea's home jerseys are always going to be like that kind of like dark blue all over pretty much. And sometimes they'll have like a little red in the collar, or they'll have like some designs like within the jersey, but it's like subtle.
Right.
Things like that. And then like Man United has kind of always been that red and black. Liverpool are always just kind of red. The Arsenal are always like red and white. So I kind of thought we were going to do something similar to that. Like you just kind of tweak the home jersey and then, and then obviously the away kit can change dramatically like most teams do. But yeah, for this to be like the home jersey, I just feel like it changed too much. Like the team's mostly like white now. I feel like that's that jumped out to me the most when I was watching them play. They almost look like white jerseys, especially with the white shorts and stuff.
You're right.
So it's just too big of a change for me.
I like that part about it, that it's mostly like the white, because like on our first year we had the black and then the blue, and like I like the solid colors, like all black, and this one that it's almost all white is what I like, and especially the contrast between the two, where it's like opposite. It's either dark or light, away and home. So I guess also why I'm a little bit on board for this new kit.
Yeah, it's also
Charlotte's not the only one. Well, yeah, I don't think it was going to be any cheaper. I mean, bottom line, to the core of the new kit, we know why they're doing it. It's money grab.
Yeah.
But I'll happily let somebody else pay for it so I can get it as a gift.
Yeah. All right, moving on to the other new thing. New starting 11. What'd you think of it? Do you need me to call it out?
Yeah, go ahead, call it out.
So it did look like we changed formation to a 4-2-3-1 compared to the 4-3-3 we've been using. I like that as well. That's my preferred formation when I play FIFA, because I'm not a coach. But pretty much, I mean, not a whole lot of changes from the team we saw last year besides Urso and Tavares, right?
Yeah.
The back line's pretty much the same. Kalina's started in goal. Byrne, Malanda, Privet, Urion, all the same. Westwood, Urso as the two holding mids. Urso being the new signing from Orlando City. And then you got Vargas, Dejaguir, however you say it, and Tavares as the attacking three, with Vargas and Tavares kind of playing as wingers, and then Copetti as the number 9. Again, pretty much what we saw last year as well. What'd you think of it?
Like you said, I like the new formation change. I was surprised a little bit to see Privet starting, and only because last season, and this is what the old coach, but he kept switching that spot out. Privet got a good bit of it towards the last of it, but which he did well, and he did well in this game too. But he would be like taken out randomly. So I like Privet going in there. It was a surprise to see him. I was really impressed that Vargas was on the right side, because typically he's on the left, but he seemed to do really well on that right side.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then Westwood playing right behind Vargas. Oh yeah, it was good overall. I still stick with it.
Yeah, talking about the two new guys, Urso and Tavares, what do you think of their performances?
Honestly, Tavares is the one that stood out more to me. Not only because he was so close to scoring that goal, but I think he had a nutmeg. He had a couple of little flick passes. Like, from where I was sitting and just watching the overall gameplay, I was like, man, that guy stood out the most to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Agree. Yeah, for me, Urso looked pretty solid. Didn't look out of his depth or anything. Was physical, which I liked. And if he lost the ball, he was pretty quickly to try and recover or stop the play, draw the foul, something like that. But nothing too crazy, but he didn't look bad either. So I thought that was good. So, all right, yeah, let's talk about the match, though. So, 1-0 win for Charlotte. Pretty early goal from a set piece. I mean, you were there, so I guess you didn't hear this bit of commentary, but if I'm not remembering incorrectly, the commentator had mentioned that Charlotte were dead last in goals off set pieces last season, which I'm not surprised. Not surprised at all to hear that one. And, first goal of the season coming from a corner kick, which was nice to see. Like you said, Tavares almost got the goal, bounces it off the crossbar, and Malanda, drills it home. His first MLS goal, which that was actually a surprise to me. I thought he had scored at least one or two before, but his first goal ever for MLS, so that was cool.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So kind of my quick breakdown of the match, I thought the first 10 minutes, like up until that goal, I thought we did look more threatening in the attack. Thought our defense the whole match looked really, really solid. I was never really worried once about them scoring a goal. Well, maybe once, and the guy hit it way over the crossbar in the second half, kind of late in the game. But other than that, I thought the whole back line looked really solid and very well organized. Like if one guy got beat, they had another two guys there to help recover. Westwood and Urso did a really good job getting behind the ball. Vargas and Tavares also, I thought, did a good job of pressing up high and then recovering well. So I thought defensively we looked a lot better than last year, just way more organized, and I thought everyone kind of had a better sense of what they were doing and where to be at. But after the goal, I thought our attacking play and our build-up play was pretty meh. Especially just like building up the attack. I just didn't think we created that many opportunities or that many chances, and really looked that threatening going forward compared to the first few minutes. I thought we looked a lot more threatening there. So I'm wondering if that's just a Dean Smith thing of like, we got the goal, Mal is, not force the issue as much and wait for our moments and just, be solid defensively or what it was. But I thought other than that, like it was, exciting that we won, but kind of a boring match after that goal. Not a whole lot going on.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think our attack was, even after that first goal, was still pushing pretty hard. I would say mostly, I'm just going to say it's because it's first match. Guys are probably not 100% fully match fit. They're probably getting tired. Right around the 33rd minute, as far as like chances created, Capetti had basically a one-on-one with the goalie and just completely whiffed it.
Oh yeah.
Where he had that just one, all he had to do was hit the ball and just whiffed it. And then shortly after that, our captain gets the first yellow. So, way to lead by example. I like that. The captain getting the first foul, I'm for that.
Yeah.
But even after that, what was it? When did that penalty come? First half?
Second half.
I can't remember. Second half?
Yeah.
But yeah, so there was another attacking opportunity there. Not a lot, like you said, not a lot of chances that were created. Well, they were created. I would say not a lot of chances that we should have scored on. The penalty was an easy goal that we missed, and then Capetti's was another one that we missed. Like, in reality, this match should have been 3-0.
All right, so let's talk on those two things, the Capetti miss, and then we'll talk about the Vargas penalty. Yeah, so the Capetti miss, I mean, oh, God, we saw that so much last year. The dude just has bricks for feet. Like, I don't know what it is, man, but he just... I don't is it just the pressure? Is it the fans? Like how many fans are watching him or the moment? What is it that this guy just cannot connect?
I think he maybe just took his eye off the ball or something. I mean, I don't know what else. He was on pace when he was running for it. He just completely missed that. Maybe, like you said, the pressure of just scoring, oh no, here it comes, and then he just missed it.
He knows he has to put that one away, and
I mean, yeah, that's a given. That's a total given. When I'm over here looking at the replay, and it's just dude, he's right there, and I don't, as a professional, I don't see how you missed that. I would have probably got contact, but the ball would have went way over the crossbar. But at least I would have had contact. That was just embarrassing. And you could tell he was frustrated. He swung, missed, fell, and was just pounding the floor after that. So,
dude, I thought he was gonna break his hand.
Well, he's already got it taped up. So.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, so after that miss, I tweeted out like it's gonna be a long season with Copetti up front, and I think
I
a
hope
lot
not.
of people felt a similar way. He had a few defenders of like the biggest support to him I saw was that he makes a lot of runs, doesn't get the service, but he's making a lot of the runs and stuff, and I was like, man, he does make a lot of runs, but whenever the ball comes to him, he is so clumsy with it. Like, he is just so uncoordinated.
Hopefully, the coaching staff is able to kind of fix that issue there.
Yeah. And then moving on to a sadder bit of news, the Kerwin Vargas penalty.
Ugh.
Man, he was nervous. I think the moment got to him.
Yeah, you could tell he was...
He did not want to miss.
No. And man, it took a good while for those refs to even just give us that. Even it was so just obvious handball. From where I was sitting, I was like at the corner flag on that side to the right. I might be even in the replay because we were so far like down there. But yeah, I mean, I was just there with my cell phone recording this. I'm like, yes, like Vargas is about to get his goal, first of the season. He's Colombian. And then like he just whiffed it. I'm like, ugh. I was like, all right, I gotta go get a coffee because it was cold out. It was so cold out there.
Oh, yeah, I heard
and
it was very
windy.
cold.
Dude, it was so cold out. And you know how they like spray the field with water?
Yeah.
All that water was just blowing back into the stands. I'm like, this sucks. I was like, I want to do the Pepitas jump again because I'm cold.
I watched from the comfort of my own home. Sick as a dog.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but yeah, it's hopefully something. Again, he'll just shake it off. He'll have more chances.
Yeah, I mean, you could tell he was frustrated. Like when he came off, he looked pretty upset. What I liked was it seemed like Dean Smith kind of comforted him and said pretty much that, like, shake it off, don't worry. And that happens to everyone. Like everyone's missed a penalty, but you could tell like he did not want to miss it, like overhit it or anything, and just ended up like hitting it way too soft. Like just he just underhit that thing, and I think he just couldn't pick a spot and really commit to it, and just ended up kind of whiffing it, I guess. But that won't be the last we see of Vargas. I still think he's got a big season ahead of him. It was a so-so game from him, not one of his best, but I still think this is going to be like a breakout season for him.
Yeah,
and I think Dean Smith trusts him too because he gave him the start.
Yeah. And I was gonna say even in the second half we had some more chances that we just missed. We had that beautiful cross by Westwood into the box, and it was flicked. I think it might have been maybe Tavares, but I can't. It's hard to tell looking at the replay. But anyways, that header was missed. It looked like it was on goal, but the goalie blocked it out. And then the same guy, number 30's Tavares. No, that is
30 is Urso. Mm-hmm.
Urso, yeah. So I think Urso headed it. And then he had another open shot like around the 69th minute where he was running on goal. Again, goalie blocked it, but overall, I think we created a good bit of chances. No, it wasn't Urso. I can't see his number. Maybe Vargas. I think that's Vargas. Oh, Vargas might have had the header then. It's hard to tell from the replay, but what I was trying to get to is we've had good chances. We're distributing the ball well. We're making good runs, and we're taking shots, which in the end, that's really what matters. Take your shots, and eventually one of them's going to go in.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think the only other real significant thing to talk about from this match is the Nemfasha Berchimas debut. 16 years old,
yes,
9th youngest MLS debut ever. Do you know who the first is? Give you a little bonus point if you do.
Adu.
Adu it is. Yep, Freddie Adu.
Oh, yes.
14 years old, allegedly.
The bust. Yeah.
Yeah, he might be the biggest bust, huh?
Yeah, and I could be wrong, but weren't his parents lying about his age?
I think that's like a rumor.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah. Because I think people were like, that's a big 14-year-old.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah, there was a lot of, and I think it was mostly due to marketing and Nike. Like, they jumped on board quick, and there was a lot of hype behind Adu. And then the fact that he went to MLS, and then, nothing happened.
Yeah, and he had that like marketing campaign with Pele, and he was gonna be like the next Pele, and
the next one.
Dude,
yeah.
I mean, talk about cursed. I mean, that dude has had a career. But anyways, Nimfasha Berchima, 16 years old debut. What'd you think of his few minutes that he got?
Then he got a shot like on goal towards the end.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, look, some say that he's not big enough. Physically he's not there yet, but he might not need to be total physical out there if he's outrunning some of these guys and out dribbling them.
Yeah, there's definitely a scale to it, right? Like, the more technical and quick you are, the less physical you need to be, for sure. And he definitely scales out somewhere like that. I remember the first Crown Legacy game, he started on the wing, and he was like very, like, you could tell he was physically smaller than a lot of the guys out there, but he was causing problems. And at the time, I think he was like 14 turning 15, or I guess
right.
That must have been what he was. So
look, if you can make those runs off the ball to make yourself available, then yeah, because not only are you drawing defenders to potentially help out other forwards, but if you make a good run, then you can put one in the net.
Yeah, and who else
there's a win-win to each situation.
Yeah, and you know who else they used to say that stuff about that wasn't physical or big enough?
Me.
Messi. And look at him now.
Yeah, selling out.
Yeah, so don't want to give him the Freddie Adu curse, but I think Berchimus has got a not a hot take, but I think he's got a big career ahead of him. And clearly Dean Smith trusts him, and Dean Smith's got that reputation for developing youngsters, so
right.
It's gonna be fun to watching him play this season.
Brave there too, putting a young guy in the home opener atmosphere, and you're only one goal ahead. Because New York had some chances too. Let's not forget about that. New York had plenty of chances to score. They whiffed a pretty big one, but we did too. We had, I think, at the very beginning of the match, one went way right, and it was just like, yikes! Like, is that ball still wet or is it windy out? I mean, it was windy out, but not that windy.
Yeah.
But New York had a couple of chances to score. Luckily, our defense was able to clear it out. Or even, Kalina had some good saves. The few that he had, but he had some good saves.
Yeah. Yeah, I wonder if it's probably because of the wind, but is it just me, or has Kalina changed the way he hits the ball on his long balls? Like,
it seems to go higher instead of longer.
Yeah,
referring to?
Yeah, the first season he used to hit these like laser beam type balls, and now he kind of does the more like balloony flight.
I don't know. Maybe they had him change his technique.
Yeah, I liked the other one where it was just
I
like a straight laser.
Yeah,
beam.
It was just like it's coming to you, and it like just went straight to the player that he was.
But I wonder if that's harder to control, because it's probably coming at you with some pace.
Yeah. I mean, dude, he's from like the other side of the field coming right at you. Like, I'm not stopping that.
Yeah, like, that's a through ball now. I'll chase that.
I'm like,
now.
if Kalina's about to make a goal kick, I am not making eye contact. I'm like, don't pick me. Yeah.
That was the only noticeable thing I've saw different from him. But Yeah. Yeah. Other
I
than that,
still
I
think
thought,
he's our starting goalie. I think he's saved his spot there.
yeah.
There's a lot of
For
people
now,
that were wondering. Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, we got a long season ahead, but if you're basing it, in which we are, just basing it off this one match so far, I say put him in the next one.
Yeah. Just know that George Marks is always right around the corner, just pawing his hands together. I dare you to mess up, son. I dare you. Coming for that job, Kalina.
He's too small.
Dude, no, he had a good. When he had to play last season, he did well. I'm no longer a Marks hater. I'm a believer. I'm a Marks believer.
Put him on the loan list.
No, he's definitely number 2. All right. So does this game change your outlook of the season at all? Are you readjusting any predictions or anything?
No, I think it's still a little early to tell. Let's not forget about the fact that one, it's New York City. They haven't done well in the past. Well, they didn't do well past season. It's an away game for them with a big crowd. So, and we only beat them 1-0. We got bigger, tougher opponents ahead of us, and it's a long schedule.
Yeah.
So it's a good way to start, but I would say going into the next match, just forget about that last win. Don't try to ride that high too much, and just treat it like, this is going to be the first game. Like every game is must win.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm sitting at. Like, it is hard not to get too excited, but after that match, I was like, okay, I'm glad we got the win. But yeah, my thoughts haven't really changed on how things are going to go.
Yeah, I mean, we didn't really. Well, I think on our score predictions, I had called it at like 2.
I think you said
2-1
win.
win.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what'd you say? Like
I think I said 3-0 just to be optimistic.
3-0. Yeah.
But I was
So it could have been 3-0. It could have been.
Yeah, that would have been nice.
Yeah, and if you do 2 - 1, it was 1-0. So technically, I was right.
Yeah.
But no, yeah, I would say try to use the momentum a little bit from this game into the next one.
Yeah.
The next couple of games are away, and away games are always harder. You got the travel, the opposition fans. There's a lot of things against you.
Yeah.
Plus, it's Canada, too. It's cold.
Canada.
Yeah.
Yep.
Canada.
Totally agree. I feel like I'm not going to change my views of this season. And I don't think I'll readjust until we're 10 games in. Especially these next 3, Vancouver away, Toronto away, and then Nashville away. Those are all pretty tough games. And then Columbus at home, that's also a really tough game. Cincinnati at home after that. I
wonder if we'll see Jones with Columbus against us.
That would hurt. That would feel personally attacked.
I think he is going to personally attack some.
He would personally attack Bronico.
Remember me? Oh, yeah. Please do. That's fine. I'm okay with that.
Just get a standing ovation. Yeah. Anyways.
You're back to being injured.
But yeah, I mean, the start of the schedule is no joke, man. I mean, you just keep looking, and then New England after that. And then it gets a little bit more doable, but these first couple games are going to be tough, especially the next 2 home games, Columbus and Cincinnati, 2 of the best teams last season. That's going to be tough to deal with kind of a depleted squad that we have right now. Only 1 DP, a lot of young players. So we'll see what Dean Smith can do, but again, expectations are at the floor. Anything above that, if he gets a result from any of these next few games, man, I mean, that's just cherry on top. Because I kind of want to see him just build towards next year. Next year really be like a playoff run, cup final kind of push thing. But it would be interesting to see what he does with these with these next few fixtures.
Yeah, for sure. I wonder how he's gonna also treat the Leafs Cup that's coming up. Like, is he going to focus more on that? Or I guess depending on how we are that far into the season.
Yeah.
But, he could surprise us all.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. I mean, that pretty much wraps it up on the match. And then last thing we were going to... Oh, actually, did you want to talk about the upcoming match anymore against Vancouver?
Well, and just going back on last season results, Vancouver finished 6th. So that's, that's a pretty strong finish. I don't know what their offseason was like or their transfers. But just, if you're basing it off last season results, that's going to be a tough one. The one after that, who is that? Toronto. Toronto was almost dead last, if not dead last, in the Eastern. So that should be an easier one. But again, I don't know what kind of transfer moves they made.
Yeah, and then you got to also, don't forget it's a road game too. So
yeah, exactly.
It's like all that stuff gets thrown out the window whenever it's a road game.
Exactly. Yep. And then Nashville. Nashville's always tough. Division rivals. So, although I still don't see Nashville as a rival.
I don't either. I
see him more as just like, a neighbor that we have to deal with every now and then. I see Atlanta as more of like our rival.
It's funny because
official.
I know there's a few Nashville fans online that are kind of the exact same way of like, we're not really rivals to them, but they view Atlanta more as rivals, and I'm like, that's weird, but
yeah,
okay.
Now, as far as how the season is so far, both Nashville and Toronto have lost their first game, and Vancouver, I guess, tied, or they haven't played. I don't know. I just see zeros all the way across. Not even a game played. Maybe they had a bye week already.
Yeah, no game played yet. Interesting.
Yeah, so they get an extra week of training / rest. So that's going to be tough. That's going to be tough, but if anybody can do it, Coach Dean can.
Yeah. Yep.
I'm on board this season with Coach Dean.
Yeah, like I said, I want to give him at least 2 full seasons. Like, let the guy build something.
Next year I got my Dean Smith out shirt. Got it ready.
Hopefully it doesn't come to that yet. But yeah, so it looks like in the Eastern Conference, the only 3 teams that lost were Atlanta, New York City, and New England. So that's kind of interesting. Nashville tied, Toronto tied. So, Charlotte's sitting pretty good right now in 4th.
Yeah, you're right. Nashville did tied and Toronto tied. Yeah. I marked them as losses, but they tied. You're right.
Yeah. Just basically a loss in America.
There's no tying. There's no tying in MLS.
No tying in football. Yeah. So, do you think it's weird that Miami has already played 2 games?
I think it is weird.
Yeah. And do you think it's weird that the refs are clearly making calls for them?
So not only have they played Wednesday, then they played Sunday, then they play again Saturday, and then they play again Thursday on the CONCACAF Champions Cup.
Dude, these guys are not going to make it a full season.
Yeah, and then after Thursday, March 7th, 3 days later, they play again. So as far as
they are not going to make it a full
season. Get those injections ready.
Yeah.
Yeah. They got a crazy schedule. But, like, again, at the core of this thing is basically a money grab. And who's selling tickets? Messi and his squad. So everyone, Apple is getting their share of it. Everyone's getting their share of it. That's how I feel about it.
No, for sure. I mean, so I didn't watch the Miami LA game. I saw a couple clips of like some really bad calls.
Yeah, I didn't watch that either.
I saw that like the LA guy got double yellowed and got a red card, and his second yellow didn't like touch Busquets at all, like slid past him, if I recall, and then like Busquets just kind of dove on the ground and acted like he got ran over, and the ref just gave him another yellow and red carded him out towards the end of the game. And I was like, dude, these calls are awful. Like, again, that's the only one I saw online, but if it was anything like that Real Salt Lake game, I can imagine it was pretty one-sided, the calls. So I just think that's going to be something we are going to see all year long, unfortunately.
Maybe. Well, and that's what I was going to bring up next was, the refs that they're using right now are what they're calling replacement refs.
Yeah, so let's jump into that. That was going to be our last topic for the episode. So you kind of done a lot more research on this than I have, so you jump into it. Go ahead.
Right. So basically, there is a lockout between the PRO, which is the professional soccer referees, and then the PSRA, which is, the PRO is the Professional Referees Organization, and then the PSRA is the Professional Soccer Referees. When it comes down to it, is just the refs are trying to basically increase their compensations. They're trying to get more money out of the MLS, and those guys are basically just it's a walkout basically. They're just they're not working or anything. But the MLS season started, so what the MLS did was they used replacement refs, but now the PSRA, one of their board members, which his name is Chris Penso, is threatening these replacement refs with, basically if you participate in these games, then it's going to negatively impact your, I guess, like score, because, these refs, depending on like how they actually perform during games, it qualifies them to ref like other games, whether it be college or MLS or things like that. So what this guy's saying is like, if you're participating in this during a lockout, and he's saying if you do that, then you're not going to be reffing any other matches. So, and from what I've seen, some of these replacement refs especially during the Miami games, have been giving out some pretty awful calls.
Yeah, so again, the only one I've watched was Miami versus Real Salt Lake, and I thought that one was like very obviously favoring Miami. I didn't notice anything during our game. It didn't even really feel like it was like a worse caliber of reffing or anything. Like, right. If anything, I would say
it's on par with like any other season.
Yeah, I was gonna say like if anything, like not noticing a difference is probably like a positive thing for these replacement refs. Like, they're not as bad as God, MLS refs are really bad. So not having to complain about refs this weekend is actually kind of like a positive change. So that might be hurting the PRO. But yeah, I don't know where I was going with that. But yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, but it's like the one of the articles that I had read is saying that like the PSRA is seeking increases in compensation as well as improved travel accommodations, but they're just they're having to do something, but I don't think these refs are. I would say they're just about at the same as the regular ones. Yeah. So I don't know what like if they can even really punish them, because like what?
Yeah, it seems like the PRO doesn't really have any leverage.
No, exactly. It's like your regular guys are on strike, so we're gonna work the games, because otherwise you have nobody. It's similar to, I don't know if you recall, like during the nursing situation during the pandemic, because like travel nurses were getting all this ridiculous amounts of money because regular nurses refused to work their shifts because they were having to work these crazy hours. It was unsafe. And travel nurses was like, yeah, you're getting paid 3, 4, 5 times what regular nurses make, and you book a hotel and you pay for everything. Like, who's gonna pass up on that?
Yeah, no, I agree.
So, but that's just a side bit of news that's going on underneath everything else that's going on.
Yeah. I would have a lot more sympathy for the regular MLS refs if they weren't so bad.
Yeah.
And if it was like really noticeable the difference in having these replacements.
Exactly.
Like if they were using like NFL refs and they were calling like holding or something or missing offsides calls or something,
Yeah.
then I would have issues. But like I thought the games have been. Honestly, I didn't even know this was going on until you brought it up. So that's like how unimpactful the change has been. And normally MLS refs are absolutely horrible. So,
well, this was like down deep in the bits of news that I was like just kind of scrolling through, because every other bit of news is messy, 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 messy. And then it was just like one kind of snuck up there, and I was like, whoa! Like I had no idea this was going on.
yeah, it'll be interesting to see how it plays out because again, it looks like they have no cards in their hand.
Yeah.
And it's
I think they'll be okay.
even that like that threat of like it's
It's a bluff.
It's gonna impact your career if you keep ref, and it's like, or you guys don't come back to MLS and we just keep getting paid well by MLS and I don't need to ref any other games.
Right. Or even if, whenever the strike does end and those guys come back to regular and reffing MLS games and all these other ones, you still need the other games ref. You still need college. You still need the second division and all these things. So it's like there's a shortage of them. It's not like they have an abundance of refs.
Yeah.
So I think this guy is just bluffing them and threatening them because it's eventually is hurting their negotiations that they're having to deal with.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you know what? Screw them. We all got to pay. The prices went up for everybody.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, doesn't seem like prices are going up for MLS because they're not paying them. So
yeah, like
but almost like
MLS should probably give them a little bit of money, I guess. Maybe not screw them.
well, they better start calling games a lot better because Jesus, they're usually
or
terrible.
lower the ticket prices.
Yeah. Oh no, they're probably gonna raise ticket prices.
No,
to afford the pay raise.
I might have to actually start buying some tickets from scalpers.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's something to keep an eye on for the rest of the year as things develop. But all right. I think that's pretty much everything. Anything else you wanted to touch on or go over?
Yeah, I wanted to bring up one of basically our fans, listeners. Appreciate everybody out there listening. He reached out, Sam Tucker. Let me see what he sent. So he sent a message in regards to Capetti, and I'll just kind of read it verbatim how he said it. It says, "Does anyone else realize how good Capetti is on defensive set pieces? I venture to say he heads or stops a shot at least once a match. He made a great run with a New York player and flicked a pass away for no shot on goal. He is also fearless in the wall." It says, I'm going to have to rewatch the match with that in mind. It says 38 took a direct kick to the chest. I thought Capetti blocked it, but I'm not sure. He also mentions number 10. What is his name? Do you remember? Our number 10? Dejari?
Yeah, Dejager.
Dejari? Yeah. It says number 10 is going to give up a goal, yakking at the referee after fouls. It says New York should have scored after one of his lapses when a player ran by him wide open to the goal. So yeah, I'm kind of going to keep an eye out on that on this next game. See how Capetti performs on the defensive side. Because I did notice, he was in the wall in one of the free kicks. And I did notice when it looked like it bounced off Capetti's chest, but it could have been 38, which is Tavares, I believe. But I mean, Capetti is great at heading. One of his first goals with us was, I think, the away game in St. Louis.
Yeah.
And that was a header. And it was a great header, too. So yeah, we'll see how he does on the defensive side. So I appreciate him, just sending that. Again, Sam Tucker, shout out.
Yeah, I mean, it's a bit of a reach of a take, but sure, shout out.
Yeah.
I definitely want my
but
number
that's all I
9 to
got.
be known for more than just being good at defensive set pieces, but sure, No, I do
Yeah.
appreciate him sending that message. I'm just kind of teasing and just, pulling some legs here, but no, I mean, it's good to,
This is what we do.
yeah, good to note some positive. Always good to take away some positives from something, right?
Yeah, I mean, I that kind of stuck out to me because you and I have what I would say is pretty similar points of views when it comes to just soccer in general and how it is played and how we think it should be played. But it's always interesting to see somebody else's point of view.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and if you want your stuff kind of read out, just send us a message. We'll kind of take a look through it, and if you get a shout out, you'll know.
You'll know.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right, well, that's going to wrap everything up. Fun episode. Always great to start the season off with a win, and hopefully we can keep that train going. Maybe it'll be the opposite of what happened last year. Again, expectations are 0, but we'll be happy with any positive surprises.
Fingers crossed.
Yep. All right. Well, as always, you guys can catch us on pretty much all major podcast platforms. If you enjoyed the episode, don't forget to leave a review. If you leave it on Apple Podcasts, we'll be able to actually read it out and give you a shout out that way as well. And then you can also catch the show on YouTube at Offsides Podcast. And then we are on Twitter or /X and Instagram at offsides_CLTFC. If you want to interact with us there or shoot us a message, we'll read it out in the pod as well. And other than that, we will catch you guys next week to recap the Vancouver game. All right.
Bye.
Bye.
Wow, you got to love that.